You're 43. Spreadsheet open on the kitchen table. 500,000 saved. Your hands actually slow down. Because somewhere on YouTube somebody told you it has to be 1 million. Phone screen, sponsored thumbnail. 500K turns into 2 million forever passive income. Green chart climbing looks honest, it isn't. Math doesn't work through one magic percent, 854. Math works through architecture. That's the part nobody on your feed is showing you. Bengen, the guy who invented the 4% rule, revised it himself in August 2025. JPMorgan's 2025 forecast says expect 6.4% on a 60-40 portfolio, not 8.5. Different math. Frank Fourth Wall, subscribe. I'm Frank, dropping these daily right now. If you've been doing the same Sunday night math at a kitchen table, comment same below so we find each other. Subscribe. Next one lands tomorrow. Frank Analyst Cameo, whiteboard 500K. Today we're listing what YouTube sells you about this number and what the honest math actually says. 7 myths, 5 sources you can verify tonight. 1 architecture that holds. Myth number 1, the 8.5% forever. You've seen the calculator on screen. 500,000 times 8.5 equals 42.5 a year. Math is correct. Survival rate is not. JPMorgan 2025 long-term capital market assumptions page where it matters. A 60-40 portfolio expected return over 10 to 15 years equals 6.4%, not 8.5. That's the institution managing trillions telling you. Now pull 8% every year. Crash hits year 1, 20% drop like 2000 or 08. You sell low to pay yourself, portfolio compounds the wrong direction. Sequence of return risk. Early retirement, now back-tested this, at 8% withdrawal over 30 years. Failure rate well above 30%. Coin flip, maybe 40. Your retirement is not a coin flip. At 7%, half the time you ran out before you ran out of life. At 6, about 40% failure. At 520, at 4, under 10. The shape of the math doesn't lie. This is why the YouTube guy can post 500K forever at 8% and not technically lie. The math line works on average. Average doesn't pay your bills in year 3 of a bad sequence.
Frank Fourth Wall, verification 3 hours with Trinity study 1998, Bengen 1994, JPMorgan 2025. Every number's in the description. Tap the timestamp if you don't believe me.
Myth number 2, the 4% rule is too conservative. Half the YouTube channels are now telling you they're partially right. And that's the dangerous kind of right. Bengen 1994, Journal of Financial Planning, paper called Determining Withdrawal Rates Using Historical Data. He tested rolling 30-year periods from 1926 forward. Found the worst-case starting year survived 4.15% inflation adjusted. He called it SAFMAX, the maximum safe historical withdrawal rate, not the optimal rate, not the typical rate, the worst-case still works rate, built for the 1968 retiree who walked into stagflation. Trinity study, 1998. Cooley, Hubbard, Walsh, AAII Journal, February issue. 3 professors, 5 asset allocations from 100% bonds to 100% stocks, 41 rolling 30-year periods, 4% withdrawal, 50-50 stocks bonds, 95 to 98% success rate over 30 years. Almost certain, 6%, 60% success, 8% does not make sense long-term, their words. So when somebody on YouTube tells you 4% is too conservative, they're not wrong about the success curve, they're wrong about what to do with the surplus. The answer is not raise the percent. The answer is Bengen himself said it. His August 2025 book, A Richer Retirement, supercharging the 4% rule. SafeMax moved from 4.15 to 4.7%, for some retirees up to 5. But not because the math changed, because the framework added a feature. Dynamic adjustment. Spend more in good years, pull less in bad. The percent isn't the rule, the response to the year is the rule. This matters for your 500K static 4% forever, 20,000 a year, 95% safe. Dynamic could spend 23 or 24 in good years. Drop to 17 in bad. Same portfolio, same forever math. More life. Frank Analyst Cameo, sticky note in front of Frank says, architecture not percent, underlined twice. That's the entire frame shift. Stop chasing the magic number. Start designing the system. Myth number 3, you need to die with 0. Bill Perkins wrote a whole book about it. It's a beautiful philosophy. It's also empirically backwards for 90% of retirees who actually try. JPMorgan's research on 5 million households, and that's not a typo. 5 million shows that retirees following a disciplined 4% strategy typically finish life with more money than they started retirement with, not depleted, multiplied.
Frank fourth wall. Comment? Drop your FI number in the comments. 500K, 1 million 2, or I'm still figuring it out. Most upvoted target becomes tomorrow's breakdown.
Now to the architecture. Myth number 4, single percent withdrawal is the math. Real math is 3 buckets. This is what wealthy retirees actually do. Talked about in the JPMorgan brief, in the Anderson breakdown, in every paper that survives backtest. Bucket number 1, 5 years of expenses in cash and short-term bonds. For our 500K example, 20,000 a year times 5, 100,000 in a high-yield savings account or treasury ladder, currently paying 4 to 5%. Bucket 1 job, pay your bills, period. Market crashes, you don't care. You're not selling stocks at the bottom, you're spending money that was already cash. The 5-year buffer is your sequence risk insurance. Bucket number 2, 150,000 in dividend stocks and REITs at a 3 to 5% yield, call it 4, generates about 6,000 a year in passive income. That income refills bucket 1 as it drains. Bucket 2 is the supply line. You don't sell shares, you collect the dividend stream. Even in a crash year, dividend cuts hurt but don't disappear. The S&P 500 dividend yield went from 1.9% in 07 to 2.3 in 09. Cuts, not zero. Bucket number 3, 250,000 in growth stocks, total stock market index fund or similar. The rule, you don't touch this for at least 10 years, not in year 1, not in year 5, not when the market scares you. Bucket 3 is the compound engine. 250 at 7% real return, 20 years, equals roughly 967,000, almost a million. From a $250,000 seed untouched, while you spent 400K out of buckets 1 and 2.
Frank Analyst Cameo. Chart Frank at chart. Year 0, 500K split into 100, 150, 250. Year 20, bucket 3 alone is 967. Total portfolio bigger than when you retired, while spending it.
Multiplication, not preservation. That's the math difference between architecture and percent. With a single 8% withdrawal, your principal erodes. With 3 buckets and a 4% effective draw, your principal grows. Myth number 5. The retirement spending pattern is flat, wrong by a mile. JPMorgan's behavioral data, 5 million household sample, shows a spending surge, spike of about 30%, 2 years before retirement, 3 years after. This is the bucket list spike. Trip to Patagonia boat, kitchen remodel, wedding for the kid, 5 years where lifestyle eats more than the 4% baseline assumed. If your architecture isn't ready, this is where bad sequence risk kills it. Bucket 1 absorbs the surge. That's literally why it exists. You don't pull extra from bucket 3. You either dip into reserve or do the dynamic adjustment drop later. The system handles it. Then, and this is the part YouTube never mentions, the consumption gap past age 70, spending naturally drops, travel slows, dining out drops, entertainment narrows, healthcare goes up, but doesn't offset the decline. JPMorgan documented this. By your late 70s, your real consumption is 20 to 30% below your peak retirement years. The plans that bake in 3% inflation forever overstate your real need by up to 26%. Myth number 6. The 8.58% safe max from the bull run backtest is the new floor. You'll see this on YouTube. 40 years of data, 8.58 works. It's a real number from a real backtest. The frame is dishonest. That backtest covered 1986 through 2025, one of the strongest bull runs in market history. You're not retiring into that period. You're retiring into the next 40 years. Nobody knows what that looks like. Architecture is what handles nobody knows. Static percent assumption requires the future to look like the past. Bucket system requires only that markets eventually recover, which they have every time since 1792. Myth number 7. Social Security won't be there. Half the YouTube finance comments worth addressing because it changes your 500K math significantly. Frank fourth wall, subscribe, quick pause. The math doesn't negotiate, the next topic does, and it lives in the comments below. Drop the number you're afraid to run on your own spreadsheet. I'm reading every one. Subscribe daily right now. Social Security average benefit 2025, $1,907 a month. Per SSA, primary source, 2,071 estimated January 2026. That's the average worker. Couples typically combine. Worst case scenario the actuaries describe if Congress does nothing. Payouts drop to about 76% of scheduled around 2035. So worst case you'd still get $1,450 a month. not 0. Important to plan for, not paralyzed by. Now combine 500K at 4%, 20,000 a year, plus average Social Security, 23,000 a year, total 43,000 per individual. Couple combined could be 65 to 70, real money. Northwestern Mutual's 2025 Planning and Progress Study, Americans report believing they need 1.26 million to retire comfortably, not 2 million, not 5, 1.26. That's the survey of how Americans feel. Primary source. 500K is not failure. 500K is on the path. Combined with Social Security and reasonable architecture, you're inside what Americans themselves are targeting and ahead of the median. Now, the question that actually decides, what does your monthly expense number look like? Because the math doesn't care about the percentile. It cares whether your income covers your life. Average U.S. retiree spending about $4,600 a month. Per Bellis Consumer Expenditure Survey includes housing, food, healthcare, transportation, entertainment, decent middle-class lifestyle. One real retiree from the YouTube case file lives well on $1,871 a month. Paid off mostly cottage, $377 mortgage, garden, library card, modest car. 16 times more views on her video than the millionaire finance ones because the math actually hits. Universe 1, $4,600 a month. Average needs about 1.4 million to be safe forever at 4%. 500K is bare survival before Social Security. Tight. Universe 2, $1,871 a month. Paid off house in low-cost area. 500K plus Social Security covers it 3 times over. Same 500K, different lifestyles, different freedoms. Frank Fourth Wall, source check, don't take my word. Open the Bengen 2025 book link in the description. Read the man himself, say SafeMax moved up. Open JPMorgan's 2025 report, 6.4 for 60/40. His words, not mine. I'm running the same query you can. This is the math your YouTube doesn't show you. Choice between Universe 1 and Universe 2 isn't about the portfolio. It's about the expense number. And the expense number is mostly housing. Housing is the lever. 43% of the average retiree budget is housing-related, mortgage or rent, utilities, taxes, maintenance, BLS data, again, primary paid-off house. The line goes near 0, or shrink to property tax and insurance. The $377 mortgage case isn't unusual. Median U.S. home price in a low cost of living state right now sits between $200,000 and $250,000. A retiree downsizing from a $400K house in California to a $220K house in Tennessee unlocks $180 net. Add the unlocked equity to the portfolio. 500 plus 180 equals 680. 4% of 680, $27,000 a year, plus Social Security, plus a near-zero housing cost. Lean fire math suddenly becomes regular fire math. Or stay in the higher cost area but rent out a room. Or roommate retirement, a thing actually growing in the data per AARP. Or part-time work for purpose and a few thousand of buffer income. Each lever shifts the math. This is why a single percent is the wrong frame. The percent doesn't capture house equity, doesn't capture lifestyle choice, doesn't capture Social Security floor. Architecture captures all of it. One more thing the YouTube channels don't tell you. The 2026 rule change, Secure Act 2.0, if you earn over $145,000 in FICA wages, your catch-up contributions must go into Roth 401k, post-tax, immediate tax break gone. This matters for accumulators in the last 5 to 10 years before retirement. Strategic moves, max out HSA before salary, route excess to Roth conversions in lower income years, manage wage levels via timing of bonuses. Tools change, architecture adapts. Frank analyst cameo desk, Frank at desk, sticky note next to him says, 500K plus architecture plus paid house equals forever. That's the takeaway. 3 variables, 1 outcome. What you're actually choosing at age 55 with 500K, you're not behind. You're at a fork. Universe 1, keep working another 5-10 years chasing the magic million. Universe 2, adjust the expense side and the architecture side and start. Frank Fourth Wall. Companion, if you watched this and the 100K to million math broke your brain, that's FF 1006. Run it after this one. I broke down why 100K is actually 1/3 of the way to a million, not 1/10. The bridge to here. Link in description. Real wealth, the kind the data describes, the kind retirees who looked back and said they did it right describe. Is the math working in the background while you do something else? garden, read, watch, grandkids, whatever. Compare to the alternative. You hit 2 million chasing the YouTube number. By the time you got there, you're 63. Exhausted, kids grown, knees gone. The numbers won, the life didn't. The 500K plus architecture path doesn't promise yacht life. Doesn't promise the McLaren, doesn't promise the Patagonia trip every quarter. Promises Tuesday afternoons that belong to you. The wealthy retirees finish with more data point isn't an outlier. It's the median outcome for disciplined 4% over 30 years. You don't have to plan for running out, you have to plan for what to do with the surplus. Most retirees, when they hit year 15 and see the portfolio bigger than at year 0, gift it, family, charity, a second property, a passion business. The system's thinking shift is money becomes a tool for the next thing, not the goal. Or never spend the surplus. Pass it down, generational. The 500K that you architected, fed bucket 3 for 30 years, became 1.5 million by your 80s. Your kids inherit a different starting line than you had. This is why the math your YouTube doesn't show you matters. The simple percent makes you feel either reckless or insufficient. The architecture makes you feel structured, and structure is what builds the surplus. Frank Fourth Wall, subscribe. If this helped, like it. Comment your FI target, subscribe daily right now. Tomorrow's math lands the moment you wake up. The math doesn't negotiate. The next topic does. Pick it in the comments. 3 numbers to take home. If you remember nothing else, remember these. Run them tonight. Number 1, 20,000 a year. That's 4% of 500K. Trinity study, 98. 95% success rate over 30 years, inflation adjusted. The honest, forever number. Number 2, 967,000 bucket 3 growth. 250 seed, 7% real, 20 years untouched. The multiplication math while you spent the other 2 buckets down. Number 3, 1,871 versus 4,600. The lean budget versus the average, same 500K. Different freedom, the choice variable, not destiny. Frank Analyst Cameo closing 500K isn't enough if YouTube sells you 8%. 500K is enough if math sells you architecture. The math doesn't negotiate. Don't try.